and around he go. Ooh, down the rabbit hole, and around he go. Hey, that's a wolf chasing me down the rabbit hole. It's cold outside, and around he go. To the top, back down the rabbit hole.
Sitting solitary and I think though, if it wasn't for that, where would I been though? They killing for nothing, look out the window. I can do bad by myself, what I need info. Close my eyes for a second, feeling the wind blow. Let the sun come, kiss me on the skin tone. Instead of chasing a rich soul, out of the way and back up into its big hole. Found gold, you was digging for the truth, huh? You can see the spirit in me when I move, huh? Hater probably thinking I'ma lose, huh? Stay hot, I ain't getting cool, fuck a pool, huh? Stick my head up for a minute, see how normal people live it, then it's back down the rabbit hole. Another dinner in the dark, my mind art, candle glow.
Run around it go, run around it go, and around it go. Ooh, down the rabbit hole, and around it go. Hey, that's a wolf chasing me down the rabbit hole. It's cold outside, and around it go. To the top, back down the rabbit hole. I've been broken, I've been frozen, I've been chosen. Deep inside my spirit, in my fabric it was woven. I'm cut from a cloth that turns to steel if it gets stolen. Omen.
I'm the one who be talking. Hella musical, I got a tattoo walking. In a cloud of smoke coughing. Saxophone sounds follow me when I be walking. This harmonic let me, before I turn the dust and blow away. I got a rabbit hole, lot to say. I be deep inside a hole when I pray. Take me in, I'm running out the other way.
Run around it go, run around it go, and around it go. Ooh, down the rabbit hole, and around it go. Hey, that's a wolf chasing me down the rabbit hole. It's cold outside, and around it go. To the top, back down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, what up, man? Swisher Sleep, dog. That's a song my brother produced, as a matter of fact. That guy's he's a pretty filthy artist up in Seattle, Washington. I'm gonna check my sound real quick, and guess what? It's working. Good for me. All right, well, there it is. Indian Country Today News Online. This article from the 19th of this month. You know what? And we're literally the last day of March, moving into April. Literally 21 days from today until you guys are hunting Easter eggs. You know what I mean? Like I said, Indian Country Today, this article from Stuart Huntington. New Mexico officials are hoping that Native high school students celebrate their identity in upcoming graduation ceremonies under a new law securing their right to wear culturally significant clothing, accessories, and objects during school events. That's a really nice thing. You know what? I'm going to put on some background jams too, because I love to actually read the news and listen to round dance music, and I think I'm going to just do that right now. But yeah, you know, this is and it continues, and spread the joy. Quote, we're hoping to kind of run a campaign to some extent to showcase Native students, end quote. Josette Monette, the state's cabinet secretary, that's a cool name, for the Indian Affairs Department, told Indian Country Today, quote, we're hoping we get some selfies or photos of students in their regalia as they do their different events towards the end of the year, and that we're able to kind of highlight those, end quote, on official state of New Mexico social media feeds. On March 19th, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham signed the legislation into law, ensuring students across New Mexico can freely express their cultural identity at school ceremonies. Quote, this legislation represents our commitment to honoring and respecting the rich cultural heritage of New Mexico's Native communities, end quote, said Lujan Grisham. Quote, every student deserves to celebrate their academic achievements in a way that honors their identity and traditions, end quote. The legislation passed unanimously through both chambers of the legislature and took effect immediately after the governor signed it. New Mexico joins at least 19 other states that have enacted laws that enshrine Native students' rights to express their cultural identities sartorially. Education officials praised the new statute. Quote, the bill SB 163 is a significant step forward in honoring and respecting the cultural heritage of Native American students across New Mexico, end quote, said Secretary Mariana Padilla of the New Mexico Public Education Department. Quote, by ensuring their right to wear traditional regalia at school ceremonies, this bill affirms the importance of identity, culture, and self-expression of the nearly 40,000 Native American students enrolled in public schools across the state. Education should uplift and celebrate the rich traditions that make our communities stronger, end quote. You know, this is the coolest part about, you know, getting on and being able to read these kind of headlines. You know, I go through Indian Country Today. I go through the Last Real Indians. It's kind of hard. National or Native News Online wants you to join their site, and I mean, I'm cool with making donations and whatnot when I have the money, but when I'm broke, I'm sorry, man. Anyway, I'm looking. You know, I want to read some positive articles in my broadcast on the podcast, and I'm really liking the backgrounds. I know it'll change once Patrick comes back. You know what I'm saying? Then this is not officially the B&B Indigenous podcast, although this will be that platform. And yeah, there's been some cool updates and stuff like that for the podcast hosting. And I hope you guys had a wonderful day today. I know I did. I wanted to share some great news, and it involves having a powwow in May. And I am currently attending Mount Hood Community College. If you guys don't know where that's at, it's in Oregon. Where did I set that at? Anyway, I had a really cool sticker. I know it's on here somewhere. Anyway, not that important. But we got approved to have a powwow, and that is a big thing. Plus, the student union, I can start fundraising, which is amazing. Like, and I've been waiting for this practically my whole life, and so I'm excited. I know my buddy Patrick, he was at the Penn State powwow, which I still have not been to yet, but I swear I'm going to make some East Coast powwows. If I have to drive out there this summer, I think I'm going to do just that. And I hope I get to bring my daughter with me, you know, but I got a lot of work to do. Spring term is 4 classes, not 3. If you guys are looking in the Oregon area, okay, if you guys are looking to move to Oregon and you're Indigenous, you know what I mean? We want you to definitely pay attention to some really, really, really awesome opportunities, okay? And that is the Oregon Native Opportunities Grant. If you guys are interested in expanding your horizons and, you know, building on your educational platform, I sincerely encourage you to take a look into the Oregon Native Opportunities Grant. If you're an Oregon resident and you fill out a financial aid application for 2025, 2026, you get all your information updated. You don't have to take student loans. The Oregon Native Opportunities Grant makes it so that once you're enrolled, you'll receive, depending upon the school that you go to, around $9,000 a quarter. And I've been telling everybody that I can, because I'm really excited at the idea that our people can go to school. Mount Hood Community College for us here on the West Coast is building an Indigenous Studies program, and we're looking to cultivate relationships with the University of Oregon, Oregon State University, Portland State University, Lane Community College, as well as Portland Community College, and other you know, brother and sister organizations out there, because I feel like once the opportunity for our kids to go to school and become engineers and scientists and biologists, macro and microbiologists, you know what I mean, and phlebotomists or medical technicians or pharmacists or whatever, we're really going to see some amazing changes. Boy, I want this last sip of juice in here. And the Barehead Sisters rock, by the way. Blackstone rocks too. You know that already. Terry Paskman, Randall Paskman. That's right. Yep. Those guys been jamming my whole life, if you don't know. So, in my idea for running this powwow, I really want to bring all of the Native student body that wants to participate on the powwow committee for sure. And I want to get t-shirts. I want to have a space for 50 vendors in the arts and crafts, department. And then, of course, 10 to 15 food vendors, because the idea is that I really want to have a lot of people that can be fed over the weekend for sure. It's only going to be 2 days this year. That's about the extent. Unless, of course, I can raise enough money to include Sunday, which would be amazing. But it's also nice, when you're just starting off to, kind of ease your way back in, especially when you get to be my age, where you're like, okay, I remember traveling and going hard all over the continent, right? Not just driving trucks, but like going to powwows in North Dakota and Montana, you know what I'm saying, and Wisconsin and California and Nevada and Utah and Wyoming and Colorado, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some powwows out there. I want to go to some powwows in Minnesota. I want to go check out some East Coast powwows just to go say that I made it out there to Seneca. I heard that powwow's dope. I think that's around my birthday. Plus, I'm making Black Hills powwow, and I know it's during school, so I'm going to save up enough money for a plane ticket round trip and fly out and fly back. He's dope. And it's been getting bigger every year, and I want to be there to witness them drag Custer's flag around on the damn ground in person. I want to see that. So, yep, a whole bunch of good stories though. I was talking about my people, my Anishinaabe McQuay. You know what I'm saying? We're traditional wild rice people, and we're maple syrup people. This article by Teresa Peterson, titled Barn Raiser, and what is the official title? Tapping into the Sweetness of Spring. Members of the Domain extended family harvesting maple sap at the Corbine Sugar Bush on the LaCourte Ouray Band of Lake Superior Chippewa Reservation, located in Hayward, Wisconsin. Kind of a cool picture, actually. They got the camp, and there's snow all over the ground. Hita wetu ahi. Finally, spring has arrived. Spring is making its way here in Minnesota, Makoche, the land of cloudy waters, and Wazia. Old Man Winter is finally heading north. Those are Ogallala Lakota words, though. It is during this transitional time we can gather the sweet sap that the maples so willingly give up. Good thing we have the weather app on our phones so that we know when the time is right. Hey, as if before the age of technology, we would have perhaps consulted the Farmer's Almanac, or maybe just intuitively known it was time to tap the maple trees. Yet there are other signs, if one is willing to pay attention, of course. Caleb Musgrave of the Hiawatha First Nation in Ontario pours boiled maple sap into birch bark cones, where the sap will solidify into maple sugar. You can watch a 3-minute video of Musgrave collecting sap the traditional Anishinaabe way here. CBC News. The example, just this weekend, I heard honkers across the road. There is a little depression in the landscape, a small wetland, and an ideal place for waterfowl to take a rest. 2, I spotted a skunk shuffling in a ditch. While the skunks do not necessarily hibernate, they are more inactive during the bitter cold and snowy weather. Their body temperatures and heart rates slow, and they drift off into a deep sleep called torpor. Yep, I definitely associate the frequent smell of skunk with a sign of spring. During early spring, the warming temperatures during the day and back to freezing temperatures at night are what provide the right conditions for the tree's stored sap to flow up the trunk and back down to the roots. This back and forth aligns with this transitional period of not quite spring, yet not finished with winter. Conversely, last fall, when our autumn blazes were dropping their scarlet leaves, they began storing extra energy into concentrated sucrose in their roots. It is similar to our own biological process of additional fuel, or too much food, that is stored as fat reserves, and the cycle prior to that during the summer light is being captured through the leaves and converted into starch. This starch supports the life and growth of the tree, a magical process called photosynthesis. Some of you might remember this term from your science class. Ideal conditions for sap to flow are when temperatures rise above and below freezing. For example, 40 degrees during the day and 20 degrees at night. It is this back and forth that creates pressure within for sap to flow down the tree due to gravity or out through a broken branch. Tapping trees takes advantage of the traveling energy by capturing some of this life-giving sap. Tapping our 10 maples each year, my partner Jason, it says, gathers sap from the trees so I can make syrup. Jason, or Jay as he prefers, is Dakota and from the same small res as me. Both of his parents are Dakota and from the Siston Wahpeton Oyate. His mother grew up on the Lake Traverse Reservation, the Hiipa district to be precise. His father grew up in the Upper Sioux community, the related and original Eastern Dakota lands in Minnesota. Jay was born over in Siston, but grew up in both communities after his parents split up. Later, he made his permanent home at Upper Sioux when he and his dad returned from a stint on the Fond du Lac Reservation, a northern Ojibwe reservation. How they ended up in Hahatawa territory is another story for another day. Jay is a quiet and patient man. He is short, perpetually trim, and light on his feet. His spontaneous, well, where did that go? There it is. And easily contented characteristics are from an earlier drifter lifestyle, and later, as a response to coming home, he is quite my opposite, she says, except that I, too, am low to the ground. We are complementary to each other, which I believe is why we have been happily married for so long. You can read more of this article. This is a good one right here. I was really wanting to talk about the fact that the maple syrup harvest is something amazing. It's the same as the wild rice. All the sacred foods, in fact, out here in the Northwest, there's huckleberries to be harvested in late July, early August, and the huckleberry feast at the longhouses throughout the Pacific Northwest to honor those berries. And Washut people know this to be true. You don't eat the berries that you pick before you pray over them. So all the berries are brought into the longhouse. Everybody gets together and has a big feast, and it's awesome. I tell you what, if you go to Hee Hee Longhouse, they get visitors practically every single year, at least from what I remember anyway. And go out there and yeah, I mean, it's not just huckleberries. There's salmon, there's piachi, there's luksh and tuasali and Wakamo and right? I don't know if you guys had Indian candy, but it's bomb. Anyway, Vince Bai, right? The master of ceremonies, the gathering in nations and powwows all over the whole entire continent, right? Vince is a syrup harvester, and he's a rice gatherer too, right, Vince? Yeah. Pretty cool stuff, though. Hey, I've got some stuff. I'm going to be bringing some crops. I've got some lettuce, a different type of lettuce than normal. I can't remember the first name of it though. I got some heirloom tomatoes, and then I got some I got some garlic, and then I'm gonna sprout garlic. If you take garlic cloves, even if they're super dry, and you plant them in the soil, they turn right back into garlic growing in the ground again. And then, of course, those bulbs, they spread out, which is a good idea. I need to read some news from the rest of the last real Indians. You know what I mean? There it is. This is one of the sites. Matt Remley, I believe, is the man with the plan over at LRI, but they've always got a lot of good articles. Arizona Governor Hobbs reinstates 22 tribal flags in the state capitol a week after their removal from Phoenix Veterans Hospital. That's cool. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs reinstated 22 Arizona tribal flags on March 25th, days after they were removed from a Phoenix Veterans Affairs Medical Center because a new policy issued on February 12th, 2025. Tribal leaders and veterans responded with disappointment and urged Veterans Affairs to reinstate the 22 tribal flags to the VA Medical Center. Well, it sounds like it's happening. That's a good thing. Honey, open the door. It's your old man. So I got to take a break for the music. Honey, open the door. Yeah. These are the jams right here, you guys. Yeah. Well, it says here also the Pentagon takes a swipe at Native American service members. The Pentagon recently removed references in articles to Native American service members, including Ira Hayes. I'm sure you guys probably heard this article somewhere or this news somewhere across the platform, CNN, whatever. Even Fox did a couple of stories on this. It's funny to me that we're dealing with this kind of suppression tactics in the 21st century, as if our people didn't save the United States from all out catastrophe thanks to the various tribes that were code talkers, many of which were Navajos, of course, and Seminoles, and then you had Lakota code talkers. None of those languages were recorded anywhere around the world. And at that moment, in a state of critical mass, it was those tribes that made it possible for the United States to claim a victory in World War II. So, and that's the craziest part about it. The erasure didn't stop with Native veterans and their contributions, though, as other minority groups have mention of their contributions wiped from mentions within the Department of Defense. Well, let's just put it this way, you guys. I want Indigenous Native veterans to know, both men and women service members. First of all, we understand the game, and understand the responsibility of our tribes, right? We know that the United States is traditionally our enemy, but because this is our land, that's why a lot of our people, and this is something that I see, and veterans, you can argue this because I'm not a native war veteran, right? I am a domestic veteran. I will say that with regard to the American Indian movement for sure. But as for a military war veteran, I am not that. It's crazy because we're fighting for our lands even vicariously through the apparatus of the United States corporate military industrial complex, right? And I'm really cool. I'm really excited, to be honest with you. After Uncle Leonard has been returned home, it's an awesome thing. Uncle Dino's getting ready to go out there and visit, which I think is amazing, right? And I don't want to chat too much about it, but I just want to say that I'm celebrating the fact that it's been how long? It's been 49 years, as long as I've been alive. He actually 48 years and 48 and a half since 1976. I'm 49. The end of the shootout at Pine Ridge was June 26, 1975. And then from that point, it was like our warriors were on the run. Not a lot of people talk about this, but it's funny because I was listening to a radio show yesterday talking about the documents that were released about John F. Kennedy's assassination in Dallas, Texas. And there's still a lot of silence about this situation, just like there's silence about what happened with counterintelligence program. The Central Intelligence Agency was completely on board with the FBI for the development of COINTELPRO, and something that was a humongous target for all kinds of different political groups out there, affirmative action groups like the NAACP or the Black Panther Party or the Black Guerrilla Association or the Puerto Rican movement or La Raza or the Brown Berets or, you name it. And the American Indian movement was lumped right in there. Even other groups that were out there, which is the sovereign citizens movement. You probably heard that before. And people are like, it's funny when people do, audits on law enforcement or like criminal courts or whatever, they always, stand up for their sovereignty. And then of course, against policyholders like the law enforcement agencies, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but I wanted to just say I really appreciate the ability to get on and actually have this show. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys watched the Junos like I did the other night, but it was awesome. Snotty Nose Rez Kids and Tia Wood, they tore it up. I don't know if you guys seen that, but I know I enjoyed the hell out of it. and it's cool when we get that native representation on a national platform. The one thing that differs between the so-called United States and so-called Canada is the fact that Canada supports all of their artists. Like they had some Hindu performers on there, which was dope, and then native performers on there, which was dope. And then of course, Anne Margaret, is that her name? No, Anne Hathaway. That's her name. I'm sorry. Did I mess her name up? She's one for the ages. I won't play any of her music, I don't think. Let's see. But she was wearing a Canada jersey, which is pretty crazy. No, not Anne Hathaway. Was I right? It was Anne Margaret, wasn't it? Was I right? I think I was. We will see. Nope, that's not her either. Oh my goodness. Why am I messing her name up? Canada, school me. Type in the comments somewhere and tell me what her name was. It's like she got the Lifetime Achievement Juno. That was pretty dope. And she's, what did they say? She had 23 albums. That's like, or was it 23 or 24? Yeah, there was like 23 albums that she made over her career. That's like more than the Beatles. Yep. You can always tell Terry Pascman's lead. It's a good one, right? It just reminds me of when I was a teenager. Like I remember Blackstone when I was a kid, and like they have always had pretty much the same sound. It's weird though, the recording technology has changed. You know what I'm saying? So the sound of their music has changed. And it's that way. I don't know if you see that same thing with drum groups from the 70s and the 80s, like Red Earth or Pipestone Creek or Flying Eagle in the mid 80s and the early 90s, right? Or Stony Park, man, all those old style recordings. And then, like I said, it's the way that the group sounded. The songs totally sounded different. And then, what was it? 1992, when the sound with Northern Cree shifted from the old style sound that they had on Honor the Eagle Feather into like Rockin' the Res, and then True Blue. Like that was what, 2006? I think True Blue came out, right? Something like that. But it was dope. I don't know what your favorite powwow drum group is, but I know my favorite powwow drum group. Oh, by the way, it's a virtual spot check time like that. I wanted to let you know I got teepees behind me. As a matter of fact, I want you to tell me where you're from, and I want you to not on camera, but you send me a messenger message like that, or you send me an email. I'll make sure and put the email address up so you can get your information, and I will send you one of these teepees that I make as a gift for checking in and listening to the show. Remember to support the B&B Indigenous podcast though. And remember, like there's a lot of cool topics out there. And like I said, hey, it's spot check time, and if you tell me where you're from, and like I said, you send me a message and I'll get your information so I can send it to you in the mail. Like I said, the first person checking in and sending me the comment, these teepees are awesome. As a matter of fact, I'm grabbing one right now so you can see for yourself just exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. There's that. And then, of course, it does have a candlelight, and I will send an extra. Here, let me go ahead and turn it on for you. There it is. You see, there's the little virtual fire in there. It looks good, though, huh? And it got some nice smoke flaps. The back's got a cool, and it's got a 3-color design, white, blue, and green, right? And pink. Actually, 4 colors. What am I saying? 3. The pink is the brightest part. But yeah, like I said, virtual spot check time. Let me know. Other times I'm going to get coupons when we do spot checks. I'm going to get coupons for like, what is it? Bison House or what? Yeah. Was it a Bison Coffee Company? What the heck is the name of their coffee place down the road there? And I'll go in and I'll buy them myself, but just so I can hand them out to people that are listening. Oh, and powwows. That's another thing that I'm going to be talking about. Like I said, I'm working on our powwow right now. As a matter of fact, this powwow, it's either going to be the first or second weekend in May, and I'm planning to have a salmon feast. So it's going to take some money. It's going to take sponsorship as well. I want to have a chicken dance special sponsored by a family, and I want to have a basket cap special sponsored by a family. So if you guys are into powwow and you want to participate, what do they call it? They call it a Calcutta over at Welpinit Indian Days. They have a awesome Calcutta there, and people bring thousands and thousands of dollars and sponsor their preferred dancer, and then whoever sponsors the top amount of money for that dancer is the obvious winner. You know what I mean? And then those monies are paid out to the dancers however they win. You know what I'm saying? But sponsorship is important for powwows too, especially like with name givings and other things. But what I want to do is I want to have the kids. Like I said, the spot check's still on, you guys. If you're checking it out, and you want to win this teepee tonight, you let me know. It's 7:49. Hey, 7/7/49, baby. In a good way for all them washout people like that. The Powwow Calendar Weekly. Ooh, yeah. Now I have to make sure, and I think for me personally, powwows.com does have the best powwow calendar. This Saturday, Lane Community College is having a powwow, as well as the Muckleshoot tribe is having a powwow up there at the Muckleshoot. I believe it's at the community center, but don't quote me, you all. Did I say that like? Well, hold on, let me say it like a Texan boy. That's right, April 5th, and ooh, yeah. Dad's got court on on the 2nd, so I got a whole bunch of events. Anyway. Third time, I'm going to tell you. Ready? There it is. Hold on. We'll pop it back out again so you can see it, kids. There's the candle, right? And I'll send more candles, whoever the winner of the spot check is. Name, and I will get your address through Messenger. You can text me somehow, and I have the comments open. So if you guys are commenting and you're interested in winning one of my teepees, this is just one gift out of many of the gifts that we're going to do on the B&B Indigenous podcast for sure. But I got to turn the music back up one or two. Blackstone at Window Rock Round Dance. Yeah, that sounds tight, huh? I know. So, Eugene, the Mother's Day powwow is coming up. And I'm not sure what the dates are for that. But the nice thing is that I can keep playing the music and actually look up on this device too, which I think I really need to do. Mother's Day powwow, Eugene, Oregon 2025. See, and it gives me the information like that. Oh, somebody's tuning in. May 10th and 11th, 2025. That's the Native American Student Union's annual 56th annual Mother's Day powwow. Guess who's going to do the powwow before that? So, and or after it. Like I said, we're having this powwow one way or the other. And I know that UW's got a powwow, and I know that there is a big upheaval there recently with some of their royalty. And I'm not going to go into the details because I don't like this, flap my gums too much stuff. But there it is. Look at hey, and Teresa wins a spot check. Teresa Hudson. Yep, she already said the address, dude. Just like that. Good job for you, Teresa. You've just officially won yourself a spot check lodge like that in a good way. And there it is. May 10th and 11th, 2025 down at the University of Oregon. I know they did it at the, the MacArthur Court. And I'm not sure if that's still where they're holding it. They did have it in the really nice Ducks the facility. What the heck is that? It's not MacArthur Court. It's the new basketball arena there with the trees on the floor, man. This looks so nice. Oh yeah, there it is. Am I still on camera? Am I still good? Well, let's take a look. We're gonna go back again. More powwows. What did I say? Powwows. There we go. Oh, hey, when is the PSU powwow, you guys? Do you remember? I just don't even know. There it is. The Naimuma traditional powwow is also in May. That's the 4th, May 4th, 2024. That means it's only a one-day powwow. That's kind of janky, bro. We need a 3-day powwow or a 4-day powwow at the Viking Pavilion at Peter Stott Center down at 930 Southwest Hall Street It's open from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. to the general public. They do have a lot of seating there. I remember when they rebuilt the Vikings arena there, it really looks so much different than it did all those years. And this is a free event open to the public. Head woman is Keenis Lyman. Head man is Samuel Riding In. Miss Naimuma special and crowning afternoon session. Head woman's Jingle special afternoon session. Dinner at the NASCC, Native American Student Community Center, is right next door to the gymnasium there. At 5:30 p.m., there's a Headman's all-age grass special evening session, memorial honoring, and women's traditional special for Catherine Jones Harrison. That's in the evening session. Fry bread vendor is going to be Killer Fry Bread Man, and the MC is Uncle Nick Six Killer. Right on. And the arena director is Ed Goodell. And of course, your host drum for the celebration is Bad Soul. So that's going to be awesome. I don't know if you guys are aware of the 46th annual South Umpqua Falls Traditional Intertribal Powwow. That's the 21st of July, 2020. Whoa, no, that's not correct. When did they put 2023? Well, we're going to scratch that, okay? But I was like, wait a minute, that's a long time. Latwaina. I think that's how you say it. They've got a powwow at Oregon State University, which is really good too. So if you guys didn't know about that powwow, you should probably get affiliated with them. They have a pretty cool setup. My Sundance family actually works down at the Oregon State University, on campus. She's a doctor down there of Indigenous Studies and Women's Gender Studies, if I'm not mistaken. She's actually been on the podcast before, Dr. Luke Lee Whitebear. But yeah, she's a very resourceful lady. But we're trying to have this. We're going to try and get this powwow together as fast as we can. What I want to do for Mount Hood Community College, bringing the Indigenous Studies program, is encourage people to come and have a good time and bring their kids. And let their children know, hey, this could be you. If you're not going to university right away, or you want to become a mechanical engineer, you want to become a television studio professional, you want to learn how to run a radio station, Mount Hood Community College has all of these opportunities. If you want to be in fisheries, right? You want to work at the with Bonneville Power Administration or Yakima Nation Fisheries or Warm Springs Fisheries, right? Or any of the other tribes around the Northwest that have fish programs. I know Lower Kootenays have a really awesome program up there for kokanee, which is their main sacred fish that they harvest, right? But man, their program is really awesome, and they work with the Bonneville Power Administration and the Columbia River Intertribal Fish Commission and the Department of Energy and the Department of the Army Corps of Engineers, excuse me. But I'm telling you, you'd really enjoy Mount Hood Community College as a student. That's why I want to bring families to the powwow. I want them to learn about it. I want artists to come out. We want to have a stick game tournament. Want to have the best food that you can buy in Indian country like that. And if we can turn a 2-day powwow into 3-day powwow, that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know. I just got, what is that? I just had an ADD moment. Just kidding. Who's on there? Wonder who you are. Nobody's commented yet, but that's cool. Yeah, I gave one of the teepees away. I'm pretty happy about that. I know I can't stay on much longer tonight, but the cool part about it is that I'm taking 4 classes, and one of them is a health and fitness for life class. I've already lost like 55 pounds, but I want to lose more, and I know that I can, and I'm going to chisel up. I'm going to chisel the chub. I want to dance and look skinny in my outfit this summer. I don't want to look poochy out there. And I'm revamping it. As soon as I get disbursements, I'm going to get a sewing machine again, and that's going to change the game, because then I'm going to sew up all the outfits. My daughter's outfit's getting sewed. I know my outfits are getting sewed. My son's outfit's getting sewed. My grandson's outfit's getting sewed. It's going to be busy, but I'm really fast on a sewing machine, so I'm a professional. But yeah, so I mean, there's so much going on this coming summer. Don't forget, Taco Burger is going to be out in full force. I'm actually conscripting my family to come with me and work out there. Like what I want to do is go to powwows. I want to hit up Canada and I want to go to weekend and weekday powwows and pretty much work 6 days a week. The same thing happens all over Canada. And I think it starts the end of June, beginning of July when the weekday powwows really kick in. And then, boom, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then you call, they announce the winners on Thursday afternoon, evening. And then everybody's jamming out to the next powwow within 3, 4, maybe 5 hours drive. And then you're on to a Friday, Saturday, Sunday powwow. And then you literally only get the Monday to kind of just go, oh. But it's rad, man. I had fun. Beaver Lake Powwow, Beaver Lake Cree Nation up in near Lac La Biche, Alberta. Awesome community, rainy community. So if you guys go to powwows in Canada, bring rain gear with you. And your one of the things the little covers over your moccasins, they look like rain boots, but they're just a little, they pull over your shoes or whatever too. Man, I needed those on Friday night. We were thinking we were getting there. I got into Beaver Lake probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. It was dope. Oh, by the way, hey, I want to let you guys know too. I'm going to do another spot check here in 10 more minutes, and I'm going to give one more teepee away like that because what I want to do is encourage people. We are looking for sponsors for this powwow event. I really want to encourage people. If you have dancers in your family that want to be brought out onto the floor, for the first time and brought into the circle like that in the traditional way, you know what I mean? We encourage you to think about Mount Hood Community College's powwow because this will be a first time in a long time since they've had a powwow. But like I said, we've got the opportunity to start fundraising, and our First Nations Student Union is in full effect, and we're just now starting to piece together, getting young people to come and participate. But yeah, it's going to be dope. So for Saturday night, the plan is, check it out. Have, like I said, 10 food vendors, 50 arts and crafts vendors, an art show and silent auction for those that want to donate their piece to the auction or sell it on their own and make that money. But the powwow is going to go. There's men's grass, fancy, traditional, and then we, like I said, 18 to 59 chicken special, or 18 and up. We'll just say 18 and up, and then a women's basket cap special, and then women's jingle fancy, and then women's traditional, of course, and then Saturday night at 7 o'clock, right after grand entry gets over like that, start off with the round bustle special, because I want to have every round bustle dancer I can get eventually make this the biggest round bustle special in the whole of Turtle Island. You know what I mean? Like, where they're coming from all over. I seen them in Elmo and Arley and what's that other little powwow out there? Oh yeah, Browning. Well, Browning's not little. Sorry, Browning. I didn't mean that. Brownstown, I apologize. And then of course, Salish Kootenai is out there in Pablo, Montana, right? They've got a really awesome powwow at the SKC Salish Kootenai College, which is really killer. I went out there. I made the pay window in Salish Kootenai College. That was tight. Battled Rodney First Strike, which was pretty cool. He's a wicked awesome chicken dancer. And oh yeah, Northern Quest, they've got a killer powwow at their casino convention center like that. What is that? The wintertime, they have the fancy dance special out there. And I was there filming it last year. Seminole Hard Rock Casino down in Davie, Florida. They have it's their res. They have like a bingo hall, and then they own the Hard Rock Casino right next door, right? It's pretty killer. Oh yeah. Yeah, listen to some more Round Dance Jam real quick. I got to find some other stuff to talk about. No, I'm just playing. I got a lot of stuff on my mind, but there's some cool stuff I wanted to share too. Oh yeah. Native news. Yeah, there we go. You know what? I was wanting to look at was, hold on one second. Oh, yeah, that was what I was trying to find. Tatasquiat Cree Nation citizen Sebastian Gaskin won Contemporary Indigenous Artist or Group of the Year for his song Brown Man. He performed his track Medicine at Saturday night's Juno Awards Gala. It was also a big night for Quebec's Black Bear Singers, winning the traditional Indigenous Artist or Group of the Year. Now that's dope. If you guys haven't heard Black Bear Singers, I suggest you tune in. They were down there at the Seminole Powwow. The Seminole Tribal Fair in Powwow. They were killing it, man. It's crazy. Those guys all speak French. You know what I mean? What are they from Manawan, isn't it? Isn't it Reuben Littlehead Sr.? Yeah. Traditional Indigenous Artists or Group of the Year. Hey, like Stephen Aerotop Nat was saying on Facebook earlier, Grammys, you guys need to take notice of this and start making these categories. If you don't want to let Indigenous drum groups win from or in the world music category, let's go ahead and just recalibrate. It's not that difficult. And hey, I am going to grab one more teepee because I think that it's almost spot check time. I said we were going to do that. And this one, I'm telling you, this one's awesome too. Let's see. There it is. Oh, and this one comes with a tag, so you guys know. Okay. Yep, I'm going to show you here in about 2 seconds. You'll be able to see it. There it is. Hold on. Let's turn that one off. That's right. Boom. Look at this. You get a good look at it. This one has a candle. It doesn't have a candle installed yet. I got to put one in there. But this one's called the Black Mamba. It's Laker colors, and I'm not a Lakers fan. But if any of you Lakers, go Blazers right here. But any of you Lakers fans, like my Uncle Joe, he's a hardcore Lakers fan. You know what I mean? You could win this. It's spot check time. Like I said, Teresa Hudson just won this one right here. So if you're a Kobe Bryant fan, I am a Kobe Bryant fan because that kid was cold-blooded, especially his rookie year. And any of the times that I've seen him, if you get on YouTube, you can check out some of his highlight reels and stuff. One night he got really bummed out with Michael Jordan. And, because Jordan was just hacking him. And he's like, I guess for the next week, he gets quiet in all of the practices with the team, right? And he just goes out there the next game like that against the Bulls and cleans Michael Jordan's clock. That's why I liked Kobe, because there wasn't a lot of people that could do that to Jordan. Anyway, spot check right here. I'll be pulling it back up here any second. If you don't pick it up right now, you could be out, you might just get ditched. It's not going to be cheap though. I'll tell you what, managing putting together a powwow and looking at how much money is going out in expenses versus how much money is coming in. That's a really crazy thing to look at, because you have abilities to make money. If your powwow is successful and you have all the right elements in the powwow, yeah, you could do really well. But that's what I'm thinking about. T-shirts for the event. That's always good. You can give some away to the drum groups. It's good to give away gas cards and stuff like that. But for this first year, I'm going to be taking suggestions on how to encourage people to come and participate, especially drum groups, from around the region, which would be really nice. And then, of course, not just the drums, but all the dancers to come there too. And I want to encourage as many people to come to the powwow as I can. You know what I'm saying? Because you're really going to enjoy yourself. Anyway, I think that's about the time that I got for tonight. I really appreciate all the people coming in. One more time, you're going to get the opportunity, and I'm going to put it up. And virtual spot check will be on there. That's right. So, and I'm going to post this up on my page, on my Facebook page, and I will tag the video on YouTube too, so you guys can check it out. And B&B Indigenous Podcast video. Waiting for Patrick to come back. We are waiting for Patrick Little Wolf Brooks. Attention, Patrick Little Wolf Brooks. It is now 11:07 on the East Coast, so he's probably sleeping. He said he was sore from the powwow, which I totally get, because I did 3 sets of 20 on the quadricep machine earlier today, and it about took my legs off. But the guy that's teaching the class, he seems very smart. He says, it's just like getting your associate's degree. It's the hardest degree to get. He says, but then after that, you just become, a trained professional and you start focusing on how to get your homework in on time and doing all of the things, especially if you're a dedicated student, and then it stops hurting, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, you guys, I really enjoyed the time with you on the B&B Indigenous podcast. I wanted to say, I hope you guys, enjoy the heck out of the rest of your Monday night. You know what I mean? And stay retro or die, baby. This is the B&B Indigenous podcast -1. Attention, Patrick Little Wolf Brooks. Attention, Patrick Little Wolf Brooks. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy.